this does tie into some of the comments, and what's suggested here is just an idea. It is no standing other than is an idea. Right now, council has 4 meetings a month. 2 are council and 2 are committee of the whole, and they go opposite each other. They start at different times. There are a couple differences between them, as I noted in my report, just in terms of whether a delegation can speak for any topic or it's only restricted to items on the agenda. What I've witnessed just in the last few months since I've been in the chair is that they seem very similar to the committee of the whole and the council. If someone wants to come, I don't think they really see what the difference between the two are. Legislatively, there are some things that committee of the whole cannot do, such as creating bylaws, and that's about it. So what I'm suggesting here is maybe the committee of the whole can be redefined or find a different way that it could operate for a different purpose. And you still have 4 council meetings, 4 meetings, regular meetings a month, but that first meeting could be a committee of the whole that is dedicated purely for public input. You could include any business items that come up, such as last minute applications, things like that, but that would be the time to have, if I could use, I keep using the word open mic, but that would be a time just to get any other public input once a month. So maybe Monday, am I going to say it? Maybe Saturday. This is what I've heard. I was thinking Saturday in the pub at 11 would probably be a good time.
All in favor?
Or you could bring a band in. All while the non-alcoholic drinks. Absolutely. I got some homebrew at home I can bring. So if this is just a suggestion, if council wanted to create that atmosphere, whether it's the E-Town Hall or maybe it's an open house, it doesn't have to be a structured meeting like you have now. It's just it has to be a properly constituted meeting where minutes are recorded, etc. But we could take different formats. It could be a pilot. You could try it for 6 months, see how that goes. The remainder of the month, the 2nd, 3rd, 4th Mondays would be regular council meetings. So not committee of the whole, they're all council meetings. And the point with those is it's really dedicated to the business of council with that half hour or so for public comments at the beginning.
So why didn't you say this before we started?
It's in the, yeah.
That is something that I really would like to see pursued, because again, in spite of what you said earlier, and I agree with that, there is a difference in public input face-to-face as there is email, phone calls, like that stuff. So I really would, I like the idea. You know, we need to flesh it out, obviously, but that to me seems to be one way of providing the proper forum for a lot of public. So yes.
Any other comment? There's no objections. Mr. Fallon, you have a comment?
I just have a question on that. Would it be possible for an agenda, a month agenda, to be kind of roughed out for a meeting like that, so that the public could be limited to comments that would on upcoming issues? You know, I don't know how committee of the whole meeting that's sort of special and individual at the beginning of the month would deal with how the public would be able to present ideas for upcoming issues or a forum that would be helpful to you.
I think Mr. Howard has a response to that. I'm not sure.
Chair, there's a term called the forward agenda that we could incorporate, and Mr. Jackson can look into it. What it does is that things that we know are going to happen, I'm going to say on a routine basis, so it may not be routine, but they're bigger issues that we know long-term are going to happen at certain times. We can put that out as a forward agenda, and in some cases they can be published at the beginning of the year. We know that that's certain, like the adoption of the budget, for instance. But there's a lot more that we could look at. We could actually publish a forward agenda early in the season or quarterly or whatever to try and help the public understand some of the issues.
You got that, Mr. Jones? Jackson?
I certainly do, and I think it ties back into some of the comments that you can anticipate, they're predictable when quarterly reports are gonna come up, et cetera. So we can build those in, and then everybody knows.
Councilor McKay?
Thank you. I hear what people are saying relative to this issue of when council agendas, community agendas come out and when they're published. My big challenge is trying to, if we move that date back a week, we're going to find ourselves where we're going to see way more late items. So my
Sorry, but I think we've already discussed all that. Or am I?
well, I'm responding to what Mr. Appel was.
Oh, okay, carry on then.
I think it's far more important for us to make sure that when agendas come out, they have the complete information in them. I'm quite troubled where we're getting, significant reports that are attached to an agenda item that's minimal in its nature, and we're getting those reports on our desk when we arrive at a meeting. And I guess, you and I have spoken about that example, which was a committee of the whole meeting recently, on March the 3rd, I guess it was, where we were talking about the Lindy Valley Drive extension, and there was only one line in the agenda that talked about the fact that Mr. Hickey was going to give a presentation on it. Presentation was not included in the agenda, nor was it included in the minutes. So when you're looking at it from a public point of view, I tried to put myself into the public's point of view and said, okay, how would I have known about this and about the details of it? I was told the presentation wasn't ready. So there was, you almost want to say, maybe this item needs to go to the next meeting, needs to be moved to the next meeting, so the public has all the information. I mean, the agenda item was known, but not the details of it. So, I really think we need to focus on ensuring that, we're not getting these late items.
So are you therefore saying that maybe that should go to the committee of the whole meeting that we're talking about? Or, so we get more discussion or whatever on it?
Well, no, I think what Mr. Appel was looking for was something that would be a month out, so they would know, the public would know. I'm drilling down even further than that, saying, on specific agenda items.
Okay. You want to respond to that?
Well, I'm just thinking, there could be something in the bylaw that you put in the no late reports. It takes away the flexibility that if anything urgent or last minute comes out, that it would be difficult for staff to approach. However, it's always council, if at the time late additions coming up, you can choose, okay, that's not appropriate, no, add that to the next one. And that could be council's, this year prerogative. It does create puts you in the spot, though, and I get that.
Right.
So if you wanted to be a bit proactive, to have some guidelines that only urgent items or items of that nature would be added, other than that, no late items to staff.
Right.
At least staff reports, public meeting.
Mr. Chair, we certainly heard council over the last several years tell us they don't want late items, and they're trying their best not to do that. But again, as Mr. Jackson said, it's council's choice at the adoption of the agenda to accept it or not. And if they weren't accepted, we certainly would understand.
Councilor Johnson?
Mr. Chairman, I can understand the benefits of perhaps having a meeting, a committee of the whole meeting on a Saturday, for Saturday of every month. It comes with complications. And that is it with regard to staff overtime, whether there's going to be some flexibility with scheduling. It does provide an opportunity for people who are working people to be able to attend the meeting, and I like that idea because a lot of people can't go on a Monday at 4:30. They like to be there, but we would have to be thought of pretty carefully.
Councilor Brennan, yes.
Yeah, thank you. I think sometimes we forget that this is our agenda, that we control it, beginning and we control every single thing that gets on during the meeting. So that if we see on there a item that says, presentation on living down the road or whatever, we can, one, say no right away, like on adoption of the agenda, remove that, and put it to next week, because we don't have enough information, or it's too quick. Or we can wait until we have the, presentation and defer deliberations. That's totally within our power, our authority to do those things, but it will have been out in the public domain so that everybody had a chance to see it, take a look, we'll move it to the next agenda. We own this stuff. We don't, simply because it's on an agenda or proposed for an agenda doesn't make it be on the agenda, or doesn't make it stay on the agenda, or doesn't make the decision have to be made. And we know that, so we should exercise that authority rather than try to make overall arching rules that say nothing can come to us in a timely or flexible manner, because then we really, it stops us from being flexible, it stops us from being immediate if we need to be. So I would much rather see us just maintain the control at the table at the time, than have, make certain dictate to certain timelines and timeframes that must be adhered to, or else we can't do it. Let's make those decisions where we have. Another thing about Saturday meetings is I think that we're sort of maybe kind of fixed into the Wayback Machine, because people look everything up over Sundays too, so I'm not sure we can identify any particular day that is a day that people don't work anymore, because lots of people work Saturdays and Sundays, we know that, so people work in the evenings, they work morning shifts, they work night shifts, so trying to find something that fits everybody's pretty tough these days, the way we work.
Thank you. Mr. Jackson, did you want to say anything?
I just had a couple, Councilor Brand, I think it's good to put that out there, is that there are already Saturday meetings and weekend meetings happening for other processes as needed. Food strategy with the VIX on the weekend, the end of the plans, we do open houses on Saturdays. So there is that forum and opportunity for members of the public to come out, and councillors often attend this as well. So that debate can happen. It doesn't have to be in the council meeting, and these do happen. In terms of the overtime, I was thinking of that. But if this committee of the whole is structured in this way, there wouldn't be a staff-heavy component, because there's not agenda items that need to have any presentation or comments. The staff you get are largely non-union, so there you go, right? They don't represent, so that's okay. But the other part is, it doesn't have to be dedicated every Saturday of the month, too. Perhaps Mondays and then a quarterly meeting on a Saturday. What I'm trying to just say is there are other options, and you could try this as a pilot. You may find have these meetings, 2 people show up on a routine basis. Okay, well, we tried it. Maybe it depends on the topic rather than the structured approach to say. Sorry.
Councilor Anderson.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I like this idea of looking at potentially a Saturday afternoon. I think Councilor Johnson mentioned it perfectly in the sense that not everyone's able to come to a 4:30 p.m. meeting versus a 9 a.m. meeting where people might be at work. So even this meeting might be unless people aren't able to attend. Like the 4:30 one, morning, but on the weekends, I think Councilor Brennan did make the point that people would work every day, but I think we're more likely to get more people at a meeting on a Saturday afternoon than you would at a 9 a.m. on a Thursday or 4:30 on a Monday. So I think that's good. Going back to the agenda just briefly, I agree with Councilor unfortunately, Mr. Boland, about the agendas being out earlier, because I know we've all received agendas that are 1,500 pages before, and to go through all of that information in about 3 days is, in my opinion, quite inappropriate. I think that council members should committee of the whole meeting on a Saturday or whatever day would be it.
Thank you. Councilor Nestor?
Mr. Chair, sorry I couldn't I couldn't talk to him, he gave me one. I totally agree with Councilor Brennan in their perspective on how we handle and conduct our agendas and our affairs and our meetings in our office. And there is opportunity for some housekeeping, of course, there always is, to adjust or amend or so we can deliver a quality product, so to speak. I certainly, it was item specific that I was talking about, that I might have missed in context. And with weekend meetings, I'm not convinced that weekend meetings, I'm not sure what our voter turnout is, I think it's 23% or something. And I'm not convinced that we only have 7 days a week, and I'm not sure which 8th day we should try to recreate the best attended event possible. Routine is routine is routine. And when you become familiar with and accustomed to, then you can start to put things into your schedule so that you are able to plan when to attend or when not to attend, or if you can attend or how it works. I almost think that we're going overboard with trying to be so damn politically correct that we're becoming impossible to serve ourselves. And in the meantime, having a challenge to serve the community because we're trying to figure out better ways to do what, there's ways that we should be doing what we're doing, we're not doing the ways we're supposed to be doing it now. So the frustrations, I think we're creating much of the manifesting, much of the frustration we have reams of rules and roles and policies and procedures. And if some of them don't quite fit or don't quite work in the 21st century now, then I guess that's what we're doing. But I don't know if we can, as has been said, I don't think we can be all things to all people all the time. And so to that point, Councillor Brennan is absolutely correct. This is our agenda. We can defer things and all of the stuff that she said, and I agree with it 100%. So I think we have to be really careful. Talking about stuff that comes late, I'm not a big fan of stuff that comes late. I don't like it. I don't think any of us like it. Sometimes it's a fact, but in reality, we had one last Monday, a week ago Monday. We came pretty darn late. At the time, I wasn't very understanding, and I put myself in a position that I wish I didn't. And to Guy's point, I wish I said, I'm not willing to deal with this based on the information or knowledge of the topic that I had at the time. And I didn't. It was my fault. So I'll bear the burden of not doing something about it at the time when I had the chance to do it, based on the rules and regulations and policies and procedures and everything that we've got in place. And I didn't take advantage of that. Do I need to make up a new rule now? No, it's only this there out there. That's all.
Yeah, I think a lot has to do with flexibility. I think we have to learn. I think we have to learn to be more flexible and not stuck in our position. And when we say, as you say, someone wants to defer something, okay, you defer. It's not get hung up on procedures and so on. Have we given you enough information, Mr. Jackson, on our feelings on committee of the whole meetings? Perhaps one a month and then 3 council meetings a month.
I think so. So what I do is return to something else. It would be formalized and presents it in a way that's very point-based, very clear.
Then we can take another second sober look at it and, not that anybody's been drinking, but, and then we can say yea or nay to it or rehash it again. Councilor Nestor?
Sorry, so in that case, is it FP Cowan and 3 consecutive? Or is it 1 and then an FP Cowan and 2? Like how does it roll out?
And I can provide options to give you differently. Right now would be 1 committee of the whole, right at the beginning of the month, first Monday, whatever, and then 3 council meetings, back to back.
So, thank you. So,
Yeah.
if I just pull it up. So if I understand correctly, in our, I don't know if it's the charter or whatever it is, if you miss 3 consecutive meetings, you now are ineligible or whatever so if you miss 3 council meetings, FP Cal not included, if you miss 3, you put yourself in peril of being ineligible.
Right, could you just have that?
Yeah, I communicated that on an email to Councilman Beswick. I believe that's the case. I have to confirm what I wrote on that email, but yes.
So my point is simply, if somebody here wants to go away for a trip of a lifetime for a month, around the world, going to Europe, whatever, and you attend the FP Cal on Monday 1, and then Monday 2, 3, and 4, you're gone. You're gone.
I'll make sure that we bring something back so it's, if I'm taking, that's, you don't want that to be the case. But
Well, I just alert everybody that if you miss 3 in a row, you're done.
Well, then we have no council. Mr. Howard, you have something to say.
Mr. Chair, previous organization I worked with, had this circumstance come up twice, and it was done through consent